on me.
Sorry, everyone. Zoom sometimes sends us updates that throw my computer off. I'm dreadfully sorry. Just one moment. Should be just a second, I hope. There we go. Okay. I think we're here.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's do a screen share. Let's see what we can do. Cantor, whenever you're ready. Thank you for your indulgence. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We gather again over Zoom as we create not just virtual community, but I think also true community, a spiritual community that stretches out in unexpected ways through the electronic ether. I don't know about all of you. Today was a particularly frenetic, fraught day in my household. So I want to invite all of you, as I invite myself, to take just a really deep breath and release it. There's a saying in the Scandinavian countries that when you go to sleep at night, you really should not take your worries with you to bed because they'll still be there in the morning. Shabbat works that way, I think, a little bit. We acknowledge that worries and concerns, indeed, they will be there. They won't evaporate over Shabbat, but we can take time, an island in time, as Dr. Heschel called it, an island in time to restore ourselves, renew ourselves before we go back to the challenges that will undoubtedly still be there when Shabbat is over. If we run our engine 24/7, it will break down. 24/6, maybe not so much. So a deep breath in. And permission to self, to release, just to be in the moment, to celebrate being rather than always doing. I am going to call upon our bar mitzvah on this Shabbat, Evan Goldoff and his family, for the kindling of Shabbat lights. I'm going to spotlight Evan and ask Evan to unmute himself as he gets ready to light the candles and recite the blessing that's up on our screen right now. So Evan, if you would be kind enough to light the candles and then say the blessing.
All right. Aru Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehad likner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov, wonderful job. Don't go anywhere because we'll be coming back to you, no doubt. So I'm going to put you back on mute, but good job. And we'll remove the spotlight, at least for the moment. If you have your candles at the ready and you've wanted to kindle, please do take this moment now that the bracha has been recited. Our last creative action of our very busy work week as we segue now into Shabbat. And let's join together in the reading of this meditation. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. And there are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we are reminded that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We join with a cantor in the singing of Lechu Neranena.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Naria, naria, letzu yishenu nekadma fana b'toda. Naria, naria, letzu yishenu bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai.
And at the bottom of our next slide, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai לעמו ייתן, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו.
We envision Shabbat not merely welcome it, but embody her as beloved, lover, friend, bride, queen, groom, or king, the one whose return we await each and every week until the time comes when Shabbat will never leave, the time that's all Shabbat, Mashiach Tzai. But for now, we welcome Shabbat's return with the words of Lecha Dodi, embodied, envisioned. When we reach the last final stanza, we'll rise as we are able in body and or spirit, face the entryway to our homes, and invite Shabbat to join us.
לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. 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 שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, ישמענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, וראש מקדם נזוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, שדברי, כי ברנאי עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
We rise in body and spirit as we are able. We face the entryway to our homes.
בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Each week, we conclude our Kabbalat Shabbat with Psalm 92, the psalm with which the Levites 3 millennia ago welcomed pilgrims to Jerusalem on Shabbat, linking our very postmodern lives with that very ancient time, the same yearning to welcome Shabbat and to worship God in song and joy.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון.
For those of you who are still standing, I'll ask you to remain standing just a moment longer as the cantor leads us through Reader's Kaddish and the call to worship. For those who are able to rise now in body and or spirit, if you've already taken your seat, I'll invite you in preparation for the call to worship to rise as the cantor leads us now in the Reader's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי הקודש בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן. Lai 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 ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
I'll invite you now, if you wish, to be seated. We'll join together in the English creation prayer. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We join with the cantor in the singing of Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam Beit Israel Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta Otanu limadta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם בלילה נגי יומם בלילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. We are at Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. The words of Micha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלינו, נורא תהילות אוסף אלי אדוני, ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראוי וענך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זלינו ואמרו, זלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נדר בקודש. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
The evening, day grows dark. We pray for God's providence.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור שלום מעטד עלינו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, או אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום, אדוני, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים, אמן.
More than we, Israel, have kept Shabbat, as Shabbat kept us, the people of Israel.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם.
We arrive at the kavanah, the intention recited at the beginning of tefillah. I want to invite you, as always, to rise as you are able in body and or spirit as we direct our prayers on high. I want to share that one of the things about tefillah, it's recited all across the world, everywhere, 3 times a day by the Jewish community, wherever we are, in grand synagogues and little shtibels. We transport ourselves collectively to another realm where our aspirations are given voice and where we get to mingle for a moment with the heavenly host and put our prayers before the creator of the universe. What a beautiful image that wherever we are, we can gather on that exalted plane and offer up these words.
Adonai, Yadalai, Sifatai Tita, Yadalai, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Ayalai, Adonai, Ayalai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ayalai, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And I'll invite, for those who it's their custom to take a seat at this time, to do so. If you'd like to remain standing or risen in body and or spirit through the prayer for peace, a different custom, I invite you to do that if that's your custom. Let's join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabbat. Together, ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulechana lehodot. And finally, the last of the benedictions of Tefillah, Shalom Rav, the prayer for peace. And if you'd like to have a seat, you're certainly welcome to.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki atah melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atah melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. There is a traditional intro for silent prayer. We've left the screen blank. That affords us all an opportunity to find words within, reflect on the week that's passed, our aspirations for this Shabbat and the week yet to come, our own silent prayer and meditation. So I've stopped our screen share for the moment. I wonder how many of us still have the Jewish calendars that we hang on the wall or the fridge. Before my formal drasha tonight, I want to reflect on where we are in the calendar. So Wednesday night and Thursday were Tu B'Shvat, the 15th, the middle of the month of Shvat. And that means that tonight we could have recited the blessing for the coming of the new month, the new month. But because the new month, that is going to be the new month of Adar, the month of Purim, Marbeh B'Simcha, Nichnas Adar. As Adar arrives, our joy should increase. Adar will arrive, the first day of Adar, the 12th month of the Jewish calendar, will arrive next Shabbat. So next Shabbat, we'll have an opportunity perhaps to actually recite the benediction for the arrival and ask that the yearnings of our hearts be fulfilled for good as we pray. What does that say? Well, Tu B'Shvat is the sign of the coming of spring. More than a Jewish Arbor Day, quite frankly, it is a more accurate reflection of the holiday we'll be celebrating on Tuesday, Groundhog Day. I don't know if Staten Island Chuck and Puxatawny Phil will be in agreement or not, or bite the mayor's fingers or not. But what I do know is that the last time I was in Bethlehem on Tu B'Shvat a few years ago, indeed the almond trees were in blossom. It is a sign in the depths of winter that spring is not that far away. Weeks, not so many. So here we are on the Shabbat in between Tu B'Shvat and Groundhog Day and the sunset. If you've been paying attention to your candle lighting times, your traditional candle lighting times, you know that every Friday we're about 3.5 minutes later. So now, right, sunset tonight was approximately 5:10, and we're working our way forward. And of course, once we're in March, we know, once we're in February, March is a month away, and we will spring forward and have more sunlight and more warmth. So I know it's cold out and it's the depths of winter, but spring is not that far away. Weeks, not months. And there is an opportunity to celebrate, celebrated Tu B'Shvat, Groundhog Day, the coming of the month of Adar, the month of Purim. And of course, once we reach Purim, we know that Passover, Seder, is only another month away, believe it or not. So just to kind of set a context in these cold, dark times, light is increasing, warmth will increase, spring will come, flowers will bloom, and better things. So just something to think about. Let me bring up my sermon. If I can find it amidst all of, it's whether it's the papers on the Bima or the various screens on in front of me on the computer. It's all about the same. It's very messy. In this week's Torah portion, which we'll have a chance to hear Evan chant the most famous lines of tomorrow morning, chapter 15, verses 1 through 10, where the Michamocha comes from, we hear the song at the Red Sea. But tonight I'd like to reflect on a series of verses that come a chapter earlier than that famous song recited by our ancestors as they crossed to freedom through the dry ground of the Red Sea. I'd like to reflect to that moment where the Israelites look back over their shoulders and discover Pharaoh's army quickly approaching, and a raging sea in front of them, slaves who have no idea how to swim. Moses ascends a hill, a cliff, and he starts to pray. He calls out and he tells the Israelites that God will do miracles for them. And then we read, "And the Lord said to Moses, 'Why are you crying out to me? Speak to the Israelites, and they will move forward.'" This may just be my favorite verse in the Exodus narrative. The Eternal said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me?" It is in so many ways so human and so counterintuitive. Think about what Moses literally just has said to the Israelites as Pharaoh's army is bearing down upon them. We read, "Have no fear," says Moses. "Stand by and witness the deliverance which the Eternal will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you will never see again. The Eternal will battle for you. You hold your peace." God's response in the next verse is sometimes mistaken as comedic. "Why are you crying out to me, Moses? Speak to the Israelites, and they will move forward." Leadership, I think, is not about waiting for miracles. It is first and foremost about inspiring people to change, to do, to move forward. Moses seems to think that God is going to put on a spectacle, and of course God will. But God isn't willing to partner in this moment unless Moses, the limited, speech-impaired human being, unless that Moses is willing to do something first, to act first. As Maimonides observes, miracles are sometimes implanted in particular times and places, but they await human activation, might I say human leadership, to occur. "Tell the Israelites to go forward," says God, "and you lift up your rod, hold out your arm over the sea and split it, and the Israelites may come into the sea on dry ground." Exodus describes the miracle as essentially a special effect, and one that will be meaningless if Moses doesn't step up and step into his role as a leader, motivating people to walk into an unexpected, potentially dangerous, certainly intimidating situation and geography. Just moments before, the Israelites had whined to Moses, "Was it for a lack of graves in Egypt that you took us to die in this wilderness? What is this that you have done to us to bring us out of Egypt? Isn't this the thing we spoke to you in Egypt, saying, 'Leave us alone, that we may serve Egypt'? For it is better for us to serve Egypt than for us to die in the wilderness." Wow. After 400 years of servitude, the Israelites have come to view everything that is new, that is different and unexpected, fearfully, as only a new opportunity for punishment or suffering. But their leader, Moses, he was not raised a slave. And so Moses sees at least both the danger and uncertainty, but also the possibility and the opportunity. Now, we tend to think of Moses as constant over his prophetic career. But this Moses, this is a younger Moses, a relatively inexperienced Moses. God offers this Moses, as it were, an internship, an on-the-job opportunity to learn and lead. "Why are you asking me to do your job, Moses? This is why you are here. I brought you for this occasion. Speak, Moses. Offer the people direction. They are waiting for you to tell them what to do. Speak, and they will move forward. Even though the sea in front of you has yet to split, lift up your staff, hold your arm out. And it's not enough to offer words. Actions count. Visibility, being seen leading counts. Hold out your arm, show them the way. And believe that when you do so, The Israelites will do something unimaginable. They will walk into the raging sea. And then, and only then, the sea itself will respond with a miracle and divide. God is almost saying, I think, I'm not the one who needs to perform this miracle. You are, Moses. The Midrash captures the same insight and flavor as it expands upon the story. We read Moses was standing and praying at great length when the Holy One said to him, Moses, my beloveds are on the verge of being drowned in the sea, and you would spin out lengthy prayers before me? Moses responded to God, but Master of the universe, what else can I do? God responded, speak unto the children of Israel, and they will go forward. Lift up thy rod, etc. Speak unto the children of Israel. They will go forward. According to Rabbi Eliezer, the Holy One instructed Moses, saying, Moses, there is a time to be brief and a time to be lengthy. My children are in great distress. The sea is blocking their escape. The enemy is in pursuit. And you stand here praying away. Speak unto the children of Israel, not me, and they will go forward. Rabbi Judah said to Rebbe Meir, what actually was happening was that while Moses was up above praying, one tribe would say, I will not be the first to go into the sea. And another tribe would say, well, I'm not going to be the first to go in the sea either. And while they were standing there deliberating, one Israelite did. Nachshon, the son of Aminadav, the chieftain of the tribe of Judah, leapt forward and jumped into the sea, a leap of leadership and a leap of faith. And the sea then parted, as the Psalms record from Psalm 114, verse 3. The sea saw him and fled. Leadership. Leadership is about not being satisfied with going back to Egypt, going back to old ways and just good enough. Leadership is about not being afraid of complaints and criticism. Leadership is not about waiting for divine intervention. Leadership isn't propped up with magic or miracles. And leadership is more than mouthing words of aspiration and hope and prayer for good outcomes. Leadership is about envisioning the change we need. Leadership is about communicating the vision. Leadership is about recognizing unexpected opportunity. Leadership is about risking directions. Leadership is about role modeling and leading by example, as we say in Hebrew, acharai, after me. Leadership is about judgment and consideration, but also the willingness to leverage risk. Leadership is about being open to learning from others. Leadership is about being open to criticism and critique, whether from above, below, or to the side. Leadership is admitting to our own errors, recognizing our own mistakes, and owning our own failings. Leadership is about allowing others to lead, sometimes even better than we are doing it. Leadership is about recognizing that change, all change, must begin with self. And only then is a true leap of faith possible. And who knows, the miracle may be pre-programmed. The sea will part and we will march to freedom. Shabbat Shalom. As always, I invite your responses, critiques, insights. Please do send me an email after Shabbat and share your learning with me, because I get to grow that way as well. Thank you. Let me invite people who have those who are in need of minor or modest or major healing. If you have the name of a loved one you would like to share before the cantor leads us in the prayers for healing, if you'd like to send me those names on the chat, or if you would like to unmute yourself and share them aloud, let me invite you to do so. I see the name Polly Robertson, Jen Wilkov, Any other names to share on this Shabbat? I'll share my household, the Wrestler family, Florence Spire, Jerry Armine Klein, Luke Schwartz, David Radin, Howard Orlin, Helen Perlstein, Joan Millman, Henry Wolstad, Michelle Goldsmith, Charlotte Hillsberg, Jen's 102-year-old grandma, Ross McGee, Wendy Alderman, Jay Mickish, Madeline Pico. Oh, many names, okay. Richard Rosenberg, Norma Rosenberg, Jerry Lieblund, Tom and Karen Robards, Eileen Dernfeld, Charlotte Simon, Jeffrey Jones, Philip Wren, Willow Wren, Jen Sinelli, Gail Malice, Julia Sissio, Matt Spiro, Ellen Eisen, John Becker, Marjorie Wolkov. Let me also share the names from our list on this Shabbat: Avram Ben Moshe, Anne Salta Lamakia, Alex Salta Lamakia, Moshe Aaron Ben Gittel V'chaim, Bela Rivka Bat Esther Shmuel Pesach, Robert Mallon, Helene Furman Gold, Gloria Sancho, Jenny St. George, Yigal Ben Alana, Arthur Rose, Aksan Faruqi, Elia Ben Label, Begita Chenya, Chava Gittel Bat Freda, Yona Bat Ephraim, Yecheskel Miriam, Fega Devasha Bat Shendel, Florence Spire, Yona Chaya Bat Miriam, Davida, Ruth Bat Binyamin, Bachava, Steve Brown Inns, Yona Tevya Ben Label, Begita Chenya, Renee Fishstone, most especially as Renee is right now over at Methodist, Moshe Ben Leah, Nancy Lazar, Delroy Aline, and any other names that you do wish to share, Dr. Michael Buckholz. We join together with the cantor as I put up our screen share again with our prayers for healing. Just bring us there.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. Bless the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Kain Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Together, a prayer for our country and for the state of Israel. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance, and may they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife in our country, sound in body and spirit. Amen. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love and spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land, grant them deliverance, and adorn them in a mantle of victory. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And let us say, Amen. I'll invite you to rise once again in body and or spirit as we come to our concluding prayers. Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And let me invite, if you have names, as we prepare for Kaddish, we share on this Shabbat Eve these recent passings in Shloshim. Maureen Tremblay, recalled by Pat Rosenblum, and Aaron and Seth and Carly. Peter Houts, recalled by David Houts, and Becky and Leo and Isaac. Elaine Quint Rose, recalled by Judy Fishman, Alan Fishman, Eddie, Jesse, Ben and Lizzie, Sam and Teddy. We also recall those whose yard site falls at the season of the year. Jack Edelman is recalled by Ellen Edelman, Sarah and Rebecca. Jacob Schachter is recalled by Robert Schachter. Sidney Greenberg is recalled by Philip Greenberg. Blanche Sklar is recalled by Dahlia Radley Kingsley. Susan O'Brien is recalled by Jill Datchis. Jill, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. Edith Mala is recalled by Melissa Dinscher. Rose Herkin is recalled by Jean Herkin and by the entire congregational community. Nathan Epstein is recalled by Mila Schmuther. Ellen Friedman is recalled by Jill Braver. Belle Kirschbaum is recalled by Michelle Kirschbaum. Minna Seligson is recalled by Jill Braver. Miriam Morrow is recalled by Sasha Bergansky. George Mencken is recalled by Deborah Spire and my family. Samuel Rudow is recalled by Laura Shapiro. Vera Setlo Kosakoff is recalled by Sharon Kosakoff. Gerald Kane is recalled by Rabbi Molly Kane. Leon Shapiro is recalled by Bob Weiss. Bernard Dehovitz is recalled by Jack Dehovitz. Robert Finkelstein is recalled by Jennifer Committee. Myron Morden Sloan is recalled by Carolyn Sloan. Stanley Solomon Herman is recalled by Andrea Herman. And Gertrude Esther Mann is recalled by Ronnie Mann. Zecher Tzadik Livracha. If you have names you wish to share aloud, please do share them aloud, or please share them in the chat. I see the names of Robert Fassler, Berta Gross, Melanie Grossman, Gail Schiffman, recalled by Sylvia Frank and the Lasky family. Any other names of those you wish to share aloud or share on the chat before we join in sanctifying names and memories and reciting Kaddish? We join together. Let me invite you to unmute yourself. Say David Rosenberg, Faye Wolkoff. Let me invite you to mute yourself, and if you are not yet arisen, to rise in body and or spirit. I know it's a little cacophonous, but I find a comfort in that cacophony. Let's join together. Yit kadal,
Kadal v'yit kadal
shemei
shemei
rabba,
rabba
bi'alama,
divra
imrute,
chirute
bi'amlich,
malchute
b'chayechon,
v'chayechon
uvyomechon,
v'yomechon
u'chaye
v'chaye beit Yisrael
Israel,
ba'agala ubizman hariv ve'imru amen. Yehei mei rabba mevorach olam ul'almei amen. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yit'olam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh Shemei l'kodesha b'richu Kol birchata jirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'amar imru amen.
Yehei shalom
Shalom
Rabba,
Rabba Yisrael
Chaim
Chaim Aleinu V'El Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen.
Shalom
Aseh
Bimrama.
Shalom
Yes,
Bimrama
Shalom.
Aseh Shalom Aleinu V'El Kol
Israel,
Yisrael Ve'imru Amen.
May the one who causes peace to reign on high cause peace to descend upon us, all Israel, our entire world. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Aseh Shalom Bimrama Aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom Yaseh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Yaseh Shalom Yaseh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
V'yimeru. Amen.
Amen.
It is my pleasure to call on Marcia Bellows, the president of our congregation, to deliver tonight's message and announcements. Marcia, I'm looking for you, but I'm not finding you.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Let me spotlight you. There you go. Perfect.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi Lip, for the thought-provoking sermon. Thank you, Cantor and Miriam, for the wonderful music. And a big mazel tov to the Goldoff family. I'm sure that tomorrow will be a wonderful day. I have a few announcements. 9:30 is Havara with Rabbi Sue Oren. 10:30 is Evan's Bar Mitzvah. Also, tomorrow night is our Getting to Know You event, a little bit different virtually. We have 94 people signed up. I think you can still sign up. It's going to be a wonderful evening. We have Havdalah with everyone, and then we will split off into breakout rooms. Other items, Israeli Movie Watch Group is next week. Their movie is called The Women's Balcony. And I want to give a special shout out to the Social Justice Committee. They have a new website on the synagogue website, or a new web page on the synagogue website. And they are doing lots of interesting things this spring, winter and spring with the Religious Action Center. So check it out. And so Shabbat Shalom and stay warm.
Thank you, Marcia. Shabbat Shalom. The cantor is going to lead us in Adon Olam, and then we'll make Kiddush as Evan will take up his Kiddush cup and help us out.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גולי וצורחם לי ביצרם והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו הפקיד רוחי בידישן באווירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא.
If you have some grape juice or wine or brandy or another beverage in your cup or your Kiddush cup, I invite you to take it up. And the cantor is going to lead us in the beginning on this slide, and then Evan Goldoff will lead us in the actual Kiddush.
ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Okay, Evan. You have to unmute.
Baru Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri gahafen. Baru Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kadsho be'avaha, uvratzon hinhelanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra kodesh. Zecher letziat mitzrayim, kivanu verharta ve'atanu kedashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kadsha be'avaha, uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mkadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
And if you have your challah at the ready, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov, Yevon.
Thank Miriam Daly. Thank you all. We're going to leave the Zoom running for a bit so people can chit-chat.
That's cute.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you,
everyone.
Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.